There's something over by the counter, and Ripley's licking the carpet. She's been
Licking?
doing this since I moved here. Yeah, there must be some sort of meat essence embedded in the carpet forever.
Your cat's got the taste of blood. It was nice knowing you.
This way. Let's get up on the roof. We'll have a clear shot at them from there.
They begin wading over to the fort, groaning as they do. Taylor spots the torch laying on the ground by the hitching post and makes a grab for it, lighting it on a nearby flaming barrel. Let's get to work, he says, and soon they begin to clear out all of the towns in New Austin. Cool. Chapter 3. Wretched Retchers. The four had successfully cleared out 5 of the 6 states in New Austin. There was only the graveyard and Tumbleweed Gaptooth Ridge left to clear out, and the mineshaft in Gaptooth Breach. Famine was using her super speed and unlimited stamina to cut across the grassland and reach Gaptooth Breach even quicker as the survivors were in need of aid. Ari clung to Famine's back, black mane, and bent low over her withers to give the mare a more streamlined figure. In no time, they had reached the destination and assessed the trouble they were in. Most of the survivors were stood on top of the tents, and some on top of the house. How do you stand on top of a tent? Ari dismounted and climbed.
Don't shoot! That man is a hostage!
Can I shoot now? Okay.
On the ledges of the house to see the survivors. I'd really appreciate it if I could give a hand to the others. I'm fine by myself, he said, and continued shooting. Ari jumps down from a house and runs to the other survivors and giving them ammo. She goes back over to Famine and mounts up. Famine canters in between the tents while Ari shoots fire at the zombies. She hits a Retcher before it hits her. It bubbles up quickly and explodes, making Famine stumble forward and Ari lands on her back. I didn't know they exploded, Ari states, and repositions herself on Famine. Most of the town had been cleared. There were only a few traditional zombies left. Ari shot fire at the last 3 zombies and watched as they burnt and perished. They heard hoofbeats and saw Pestilence and River were coming this way. They've closed the border, River says, and jumps off Pestilence. What? Why? Ari asks and jumps off Famine. The 2 horses shift so they can have a proper conversation. They can talk to each other anyway.
Alright, so, now...
Wow, gross glorp.
Be careful. There may be some innocent people there.
To the fine folks at home on YouTube, Glorp says to tell your lesbian cat to believe in God, because the lesbian cat is licking carpet. Get it?
I wasn't going to put such a lewd thing in your LP, but okay.
Dude, you already have. So, now we're going into the bank to, oh, we shoot the door open.
This is a boring fanfiction of just killing zombies.
Oh, damn it. Am I out? Hang on. Alright.
Do they meet Marston or anything? Doesn't look like it. Entering Mexico.
I guess that's one way this fanfic is a little different than just the straight-up Undead Nightmare, because in Undead Nightmare, you start off in Mexico.
And also, this is told from the point of view of some horses.
Not just some horses, the 4 horses of the apocalypse horses.
Right. No, in this chapter they kill the Chupacabra.
The Chupacabra, I did double-check and look it up. It is an Undead Nightmare, so here we go.
Oh, it's nice to see you, John. Hello, Dutch.
So,
It's pretty calm.
Well,
yeah.
I hope. Ain't seen her for a while.
So the next mission for McDougal,
Been chasing me?
you also see Dutch, but I think it's it's cool thematically to see him first in this mission. Well, second, I guess, because he already shot me once.
He ain't so little now. No, he must be what? 15? 16? Doesn't time
What?
fly?
I wasn't reading Harry Potter porn. I was
Don't
reading
adjust.
Red Dead Redemption fanfic,
over.
and no one was having sex.
Of course.
Yeah, it was awful. Like, it's so unrealistic.
Seriously.
I surrender, John. You're the master now.
I've been my master since you left me to die.
We all make mistakes, John. I never claimed to be a saint, but equally, I never took you for an errand boy.
Just trying to help my family, Dutch. By making compromises we all have to. Now let her go. It's over.
You want the girl, John? You always were the romantic sort. You know, gentlemen, this man here, oh, he married a
Whoa, you can't say that about his wife.
Used to
Come
ride
on,
with
man.
Oh, jeez.
us. We all had.
Whoa. You
But
can't
he
say that
married
about a
her.
man's wife.
And you know that makes him a better man than us. He's a better man. Have the girl, John.
Easy, Dutch.
Well,
She's a
that's
partner.
nice of him.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
That was not a good parting gift.
Don't see him! What the hell
Sure
happened
was
to
not.
them? This is your fault, Marston. You got a gun too, Sheriff. You waited too long. Next time I'll just shoot the girl.
Careful, guys, careful. Oh. I managed to frog her right on in between all of them.
I was very sure you were going to get run over.
On my other file I did. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't. Because it was pretty funny.
Let's just say, Dutch ain't gone and got himself saved.
Red Dead Redemption. The past and the present. It was midday in Blackwater, 1911. One of the final decades of the American frontier. John Marston, a former gang member of the well-known gang whose leader was Dutch Vanderlyn. That's not a
They-
sentence.
They had to go... I mean, it's called the Vanderland Gang. Like, they could have just said that. The rest of it is implied.
Same crazy bastard
Eh.
he turned into.
John's family had been captured and will be held hostage until John has hunted down and killed his gang members. He once called friends. Chapter 2, Exodus in America.
Confused himself with
John had gotten off the steamboat just to be greeted by two men waiting for him.
This
John
isn't
and the
even
two
sounding
men-
like a fanfic. This is just a novelization of the game.
my side was given.
But a
Kill you
fan
100
wrote it.
times before I
Oh,
killed
well,
Dutch.
a fan
If it was
novelization
an
of the game.
Yeah. John and the two men were walking off to the loading dock. Just before they could walk down the steps, a small paper boy, about 12 or so, stopped them, asking if they wanted a newspaper. One of the two men pushed the boy out of the way, like the boy was a piece of paper
This-
himself.
This really is just saying everything that happened at the beginning of the game.
I mean, it's an easy way to write a story.
Yeah, I guess.
And after that, the boy started shouting, "News about Bill Williamson." There was hardly any talking between the three men. John was escorted to the train station, where he boarded a train headed to Armadillo, New Austin. Chapter 3, New Austin.
What? Are they gonna skip the train part? That's the best part.
On that train, John heard
Oh,
a very
good.
interesting conversation. One of them was between father and daughter, which was in the seat ahead of John. They were talking about how soon people will be able to fly.
Wait, that
that's
what?
Father and
No.
daughter, that was a priest and a woman.
Like you can like father works, but that
Sure.
wasn't his daughter. Yeah,
She's a daughter of God.
I will allow it. You make a compelling argument. Oh,
Behind John were two old ladies. They were talking about the election of the state governor, and how we brought civilization to this savage land. When they got off the train, John headed for the saloon. Before he could walk in, a drunk passed him, and the man fell on his face. Okay. John entered the saloon where he was called over by a man in a yellow coat and hat that was stained. His gray beard was stained with tobacco. He was having fun with a local whore. They shaked hands. My name's
What?
Jake Partner.
they shaked hands.
After that, they left together, where Jake had some horses tied up. Then they took off down the road across the train tracks to Fort Mercer. Don't really explain what the fuck's going on here.
Well, to be
mean-
fair, the very beginning of the game does kind of just
Oh, okay.
go
yeah,
forward and then explains it a little bit later.
Sure. Alright. Chapter 3. Men do dumb things. All the way to Fort Mercer, Jake had talked until he said, "Sorry, mister, I'm just chewing the dog. I don't mean nothing by it." John replied, Trust me, there's things you're better
Wait,
off not knowing.
so I think this guy just like booked it through the beginning, or just didn't pay attention because they did talk.
Oh, that's what happens if you skip the...
No,
Right?
like if you just book it ahead, you know, the game will say like, wait for him to catch up.
Oh, I
And
see.
sometimes it'll just like act like you had heard the rest of the conversation.
They stopped about 200 feet away from the fort. Well, this is Fort Mercer. You have yourself a good time. Jake chuckles at his joke, but Marson was unamused. Jake rode off as John walked up to the big wooden gate and shouted, Bill! Bill Williamson, get out here right now! Go away now, John, don't make me kill you, a man says as he's turning around a corner. Bill, I've come tried to save you, John said. Save me, heh save me. What the fuck? Oh, save me, heh save me. You always did think I was an idiot. As Bill is saying this, two criminals with rifles, pointing them at John, which got him a little nervous. Bill, I implore you to think about this. You implore me, Bill said. Heh Implores. I implore you. What?
It's
I implore you
Bill's
to go
making
back
fun of
and-
him for his fancy words.
Yeah. I implore you to go back and tell them to send someone a little more impressive next time.
Wait.
Bill said with such a grin you could see an
It-
ulcerated black tooth.
Stormy died,
No, Stormy!
and I just used the deed, so Stormy will be back in higher resolution.
How?
Crap. See, by the magic of horse deeds.
Wait, so the horse deed just lets you resurrect the horse?
Whatever horse you've hitched, so hitching a horse makes it your horse. And if your hitched horse dies and you whistle, like, a horse will show up. And using a horse deed replaces your hitched horse with whatever kind that is. And I've had the war horse deed since the beginning of the game because of, I think it was a pre-order bonus somewhere. And so I was able to just get it.
Oh. So, is it like a one-use deed?
No,
or
no.
Okay.
Like, it's still there,
So it's an immortal horse.
essentially.
Cool.
If it dies, I just use the deed and it comes back. I think the game does track, like, how many missions you've had the same horse. Because there's a trophy for keeping the same horse for 20 missions. And I already have that trophy.
Maybe we just got our horse replaced, like some sort of warranty. So maybe we should give it. Maybe it's a different horse, and we should give it a different name.
Indeed. While we think of a new name, this area I found to be pretty good for hunting beaver, and I need 5.
Glorp says this one is Sturmy. I agree.
Sturmy
Durnell.
Durnyels.
Yeah.
That works. Sturmy Durnyels.
Well, John said, he reached for his cattleman revolver as fast as he could, but got shot by one of the criminals. Poor John. Everything fades to black and white as John is crawling to the road. Just clinging to life, John was picked up, a man and a woman, on a wagon and brought John to a ranch. Stupid is the word we use around here, is the name of this.
And that man and
Chapter.
woman's name was Bonnie McFarland.
When John woke, he was on a bed in a little house. John moved his hands in front of his face, if he's actually alive. A lady walks in. Well, it looks like you're alive, mister. So it would seem, John said while standing up. Say, what were you doing out there? The lady said, sounding very curious. Well, I was trying to give Bill a chance for old time's sake, John said. You know Bill Williamson? Knew him, John responded. Long time ago. Well, stupid is the word we use around here, mister. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm like pretty sure that they've skipped like a lot of dialogue.
It makes sense. It's a lot.
I mean, they already skipped like everything that that guy from the beginning of the game said.
Yeah. Marston, John Marston, John said, asking a question. Miss Bonnie McFarlane, the lady said. John tries to tip a hat on his head. Seen my hat? Yes, I have, Bonnie says and points to John's hat that was laying on a stove next to a pot. Bonnie asked, if you're feeling better, you could help us pay back that $15 we spent to save your life. Well, I guess I should do that then, John responded while strapping his gun belt on. Chapter 6. The Ranch. John opened the door to the outside just to be greeted by a small ranch. Hello, said the ranch. That's not in there. He looked for Bonnie and found her sitting on a porch in almost what looked like a mansion. Well, howdy there, John. Nice to see you're up and about. So it would seem, John said back. Do you want me to show you around? Sure, John said. They walked over to some horses Bonnie had tied up earlier. Well, saddle up, Mr. Marston. I'll give you the tour. John followed Bonnie. So this is our general store where you can sell your
We're
pets
gonna
and
hear
other
the whole
goods.
tour of the ranch. Oh man.
I don't think I've ever seen a ranch with its own store before. They continued forward. This is our corral where we keep our horses. Well, I'm no expert, but it definitely seems like a good corral. I bet you've stolen more horses than you've broken, Bonnie said back. Now, where did you get such an idea? Bonnie didn't respond.
Okay.
Chapter 7. The ranch continued.
Try to look closely, I guess, next time I find some beavers. The default area that like the auto aim cursor aims below the beaver, and if you use the auto aim, you can't actually hit them. You always shoot below them.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's 2 down, 3 to go.
They continued around the ranch until they got to the train station. This is where they bring in all the newcomers such as yourself. Now, is that so bad? John said. Change is only good when it makes things better, Marston, Bonnie said back.
Oh, there's another one.
They passed a pen as they head to the barn. This is the barn. My pa built it himself when I was just a little girl. John didn't say anything. And here we are back at Foreman's office. Hitch your horse here. So do you want to come in for a drink of water, Mr. Marston? Yeah, sure. Getting shot and riding a horse really takes out of you. They go inside. After the drink of water, John falls asleep on a chair. To be continued. Last updated November 20th, 2016.
That person never found out how the game ends. What a shame.
It's not.
Okay, so that was number 3. Just gotta get 2 more stupid things to spawn, and
Don't call a beaver stupid. They build their own house.
gotta get 2 more construction workers to spawn. Actually, they are probably one of the smartest animals in the game, because they manipulated their own hitbox to be too low. Genius.
A Red Dead Redemption Journal. Chapter 1. September 1911. It was a rainy day when Bobby Space Ace rode into the city of Blackwater.
What?
He was wet, cold, and hungry. Bobby Space Ace, of course.
Oh yes, Bobby Space Ace. I had forgotten about
Or
that
maybe
character.
it's Spacheche.
It's Robert Spacheche.
Like Dr. Spachemin. He and his horse Jet were tired. They rode hard all night and got there by daybreak. And couldn't wait to get back to the warm arms of his beloved wife Brittany, waiting for him back at Ridgewood Farm. But when his uncle Halberds had set word that he needed to see him right away in Blackwater, he saddled up Jet and gathered some supplies and food for 3 days' journey that he left at first light. Jet is not capitalized. I don't know why he doesn't respect his horse. He would stop in the small town of Armadillo for anything else he might need, and camp outside the town for the night. Okay, this says it's a journal, but it's told from third person.
Yeah, like the beloved is in Ridgewood, which is oh god. There's one, but all the wolves.
His trip would mean that he would go through McFarlane's ranch where his sister-in-law, Danny Anxious, lived. for family.
Danny Anxious?
Is this a crossover or something I don't know about?
Or it may have been like an RP server in the online. Hey, there's one more. Sweet. That was actually ridiculously fast. No jump cuts required. Yeah. That's the way I don't do it. So, now we actually have everything we need to complete Daedalus and Son, which is here about there.
Then on to Thieves' Landing, where the outlaw Chelonius and her posse stayed.
Yeah, this is
And the worst
definitely,
of the
almost
group
definitely like some kind of RP server or something.
was Insane Wyatt. He would just kill you for even looking. He and Chelonius was a couple and were the worst outlaws in the West. They robbed the Great Plains train and killed the conductor just because they could. As he was writing, he was trying to figure out as to why his uncle wanted to see him so urgently. He was an old man living alone since his wife Rinnie had passed away last winter. And their son Braxton had moved to Gaptooth Ridge. All the telegram said was this: "Dearest nephew, stop. I need to see you urgently. Stop. Please come to Blackwater Hotel by week's end. Stop. Your Uncle Hal. Stop." I'm looking for some more names. Marie. Mrs. Lucky.
All right.
Zach?
let's-
His youngest son, Master Paul, was learning all he could about horses as his oldest son, Zach, ninth felon, Blackwater, with his studies of a U.S. Marshal.
Glad to be of service. You let me know when your machine's ready for your maiden voyage.
Doesn't say anything about being
An
an RP server. Hang on.
It's just all these weirdly specific weird names just kind of makes me think.
Oh. This is my first attempt at writing. I would love to hear. Please vote fan/comment. Cover art credit goes to my friend Brandon Wyatt. Thanks to you to all my friends that have let me use their names in the story. Yeah.
See? Called it. Well,
Oh.
not necessarily called it, but kind
Oh,
of.
they switched to first person. Good for them. Alright, I'm going back to sleep.
Okay.
Good luck with the Cowboys. Good night.
Thank you and good night. So, I just did the old save a Rooski so that I don't have to actually wait for the next part. Or not save, load a Rooski. So, here's where I want to be. I can ride there. Don't need to fast travel.
Let's go.
A person who merely watches the flight of a bird gathers the impression that the bird has nothing more to think of than the flapping of its wings. As a matter of fact, this is only a very small part of its mental labor. To even mention all the things a bird must constantly keep in mind in order to fly securely through the air would take the better part of a day. The bird has learned this art of equilibrium and learned it so thoroughly that its skill is not apparent to our sight. We only learn to appreciate it when we try to imitate it. And I, Charles Kinnear, will now demonstrate here.
Oh, it was a
the miracle of
paraglider.
flight. Into the wild blue yonder, Marston.
Whoa.
Oh dear.
It's working. Oh. Well. For a brief moment, he flew. And nobody can take that away from him. Ow. Okay. So... 8 snakes. I already kind of know a place I can do that, but I'm going to do it later. Herbs will happen. Gambling, I'm going to do off stream. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. I'll get that one for free. I'm going to do that off stream. Can't buy the other one. That is the rest of the outfits accounted for. So... No Sprawl, no poker stream. I'm not that good at it, so I like jump cutting around it. Except actually when I did my off-stream thing, I did really good at it, but in general, I am just too bad at it. So I'm just not sure if I should do challenges or the other thing, missions, because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself on missions. I don't want to accidentally beat the game before I've, beaten the game. If I can catch the train, I'll do that one, the kill the birds, because that's fun. Then I think I'll save the rest for off stream and do one more mission. How far away is it? Oh, damn. Whatever. I'll do that off stream. I'll do another mission. Alrighty.
Slow it up now.
Marston, sir, it's good to see you, old bean. Good to see you.
And you too, Professor.
Forgive me, I am in a state of remarkable agitation, partly due to standard narcotic impulses, but also due to the fact that I have finally solved the riddle that has tormented my mind these past 8 years.
What's that?
The nature of the savage soul. What makes some societies great, like ours, and others, not worse. I would never use a pejorative such as worse, but lesser.
Meaning?
What makes these beings less human than us? Closer to beast on the continuum between animal and God. You know, I argued with Fortescue at Yale about this. It caused a minor scandal. But I shall be proven right, sir. I shall. Mark my words. I shall show them all what civilization is all about. The redskins and the nubs at Yale. Come, sir. I have a way to sate both our desires. I will bring you, Vanderlint, and me, the evidence of savages reverting to type. Come, sir.
Follow me! I asked Nastas to bring the horses around front. Quick, man, quick!
This guy certainly loves the cocaine.
My heart's beating like a drum.
Try to calm down,
Calm
Professor.
down. I've never been so excited in all my life.
Hello, Professor. Mr. Marston.
This is it. Years of research.
What were you talking about back there? Where are we going?
Nastas has set up a meeting. A powwow, I think they call it. A meeting of minds, of souls. Indians and whites.
Sprawl
academics,
says large
criminals,
parts of this game
coming
seem like the
together
writers
to
thought
find
it
a
took place in the
common
1800s rather than the 1900s,
School
and
makes no sense.
I'm almost inclined to agree. They did their research on it, but it almost seems like maybe at some point they moved it ahead to 1911 from 18 something.
From the comfort of his hotel room.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. They said they did a lot of research
I
and
don't think that's a good
tried to make it
idea.
very historically accurate, but yeah, there are some obvious inaccuracies. I think one of the things they said that they intentionally made inaccurate was like treatment of Mexicans and Native Americans. They said in their research they found that it was much, much worse. Oh dear.
It's a bear! For the love of God, kill it!
Are you crazy? What's wrong with you?
Got him.
My God, that was terrifying! I say we leave before any of its friends turn up! My goodness, I'm still shaking! What a ferocious animal!
That bear showed no signs of aggression. If we hadn't shot first,
Nostis does not understand the AI in this game. It would have killed us.
Perhaps you have some kind of primal bond with these animals, but I, sir...
here we are. Whoa!
Easy.
They certainly brought a lot of fellows with them. Well, let's get this started. I hope I don't have to smoke a pipe.
Glorp says they kinda ended up like a white man hero thing with the Mexicans and Native Americans. Yes, but I think not for the Native American side, not quite as extreme as Gunn, but I still
gentlemen.
do agree.
We come in peace.
Those words mean nothing coming from people like you. Look at what you've done to us. Look at us! We live like animals.
Except in this game, Vanderland is more of the white man savior hero to the natives, rather than Marston.
Men like Vanderlint will lead you to disaster.
I think we've already experienced disaster. The likes which you could only imagine. Put your hands up!
We come in peace. Do as he says, Marston.
You call this a meeting?
Give me your damn weaponry.
This is not what we agreed to.
You shut your mouth, you treacherous snake!
Whoa!
Dutch! Professor, get down now!
They killed Nastas!
I hate it when the game switches your weapon.
Stay down and keep quiet!
You won't leave me alone in here, will you? I think I've had about enough of field work for today. Time to return home, sir.
Right, let's go now while we got the chance.
And Glorp says,
Back to civilization.
I don't think they really did it intentionally. I don't think they were paying attention to it. And that makes sense.
We should move quickly. There's plenty more where they came
My
from.
God,
So,
I feel terrible.
'cause, you know,
It is pounding.
they wanted the character, the main character, to be something specific.
It's like my bu-
Oh dear.
That can't be happening.
Friendly fire.
I think that's all of them.
Well,
It's like they had already written John to be, you know, white man, and then they included Mexico and the rebellion thing, and John needs to be involved in that, and yada yada yada. So I can kind of see how it would just sort of happen
This is very disheartening.
without really meaning to do the white savior type of thing. But John Marston's still a good character. Red Dead Redemption, still a good story, still a good game.
Do something, Marston!
Whoa.
Come on. I can't see any more of them. Come on, Professor. Let's get you back to Blackwater.
I'd appreciate it if you would, Mr. Marston. I'm a shadow of my former self.
You should do some cocaine about it, Professor McDougal.
Well, I can safely say that that was the worst experience of my life.
I wish I could say the same.
Blackwater. Ah, I will never talk ill of you again.
Civilization in all its glory, Mr. McDougal.
And am I glad to be back? I'm in dire need of a syringe. Something to clear the mind and restore the spirit.
So you ain't planning on sleeping then?
Sleep? My dear boy, I'll probably never sleep again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. He walks very slowly all the way back. And you gotta follow him.
Safe and sound. Thank the Lord.
So much for a meeting of minds.
Thank you, Mr. Marston. I could be boiling in a pot right now if it wasn't for you.
Get some rest, Professor.
All right, I've still got time for one more mission.
Professor!
Oh, it's you, dear boy. Come in, and shut the door.
What's going on? You leaving?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am, sir. You know the thing that is vital, without which scholarship cannot proceed, sir.
No, I don't.
Not having a bullet in your flipping neck, sir. I am not cut out for this. Not cut out for this at all.
Nope.
They're fucking savages.
Whoa.
Savages.
I think we all are.
Me, sir. I'm from Connecticut. I'm a professor at Yale. I write books. I do not deserve to die out here. Where's my tincture? Oh, yes.
Just a little cocaine to calm down.
Dandy, sir. Just dandy.
Oh no!
Oh, great heavens above!
Is that you, John?
Hello, Dutch.
I think that's what they call two for the price of one out here in this wonderful place.
Maybe so, Dutch.
You and your friend there, the professor, we're gonna kill the both of you.
Why you want to do a thing like that?
I don't know. Sport, I guess.
Fair enough. Why don't I come out there? We fight. Let the professor go and send your boys back to their families.
Well, that sounds like a beautiful plan, John. Only problem is, my boys here, they already lost their families a long time ago. We aren't thieves, John. We're fighting for something a bit like you. Only we're fighting for an idea, not just for ourselves.
That's beautiful, Dutch. You always were a fine speaker.
I was. Now would you kindly send that academic out here so we can show him what we really think about the art of anthropology?
So what are we going to do?
I'm gonna hand you over to him and watch him tear you limb from limb.
Whoa! Oh, what a guy.
Go around across the rooftops. Get you back to your ivory tower.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank me, we're still here. Come on.
Whoa! Two things to get me banned from Twitch and YouTube in the same stream session.
Good day, sir. Madam.
Look here, sir. What is the meaning of this outrage?
You two stay down and shut up.
Come on. We can get to the roof this way. John! Help me, John!
Stay back, or the teacher
Good shot, me.
Sweet time. What do we do now? They've got us pinned down on both sides.
Yeah, whatever.
When are you sending the men out to fight?
Oh shit. Alright, whatever.
I'm going to die here, aren't I?
Alright, not too bad, not too bad, not
That's
too bad.
most of them. The coast looks clear.
Come on then, let's make a break for it. The horses should be in an alleyway down here.
It wouldn't let me control the camera for a second, that was weird.
Unbelievable.
Whoa! Okay.
All right, get us out of this hellhole. Whoa!
Whoops, sorry, ma'am.
Head
Nice.
for Manzanita Post. I'm taking the first train out of here. This really couldn't have gone more horribly wrong.
It went pretty well, all things considered.
Your next book.
You know, I dreamt of documenting the last days of the Old West. The romance, the honor, the nobility. But it turns out it's just people killing each other.
It always was, Professor. And the Old West ain't quite dead yet.
Oh, I know, Mr. Marston. Believe me, I know. This is insanity! They're still chasing us!
Oops. Wait up, McDougal.
Giddy up! Hurry! There's more of them!
There he is. Got him. Alright. Wait up, McDougal!
Yeah.
You're not safe. Oh, we're already at Manzanita Post.
Here we are! Finally! A one-way ticket to civilization, please. My research is complete. Much as I thought. There's no civilizing this savage land.
Could have told you that for nothing.
Ah, but they'll give me a prize in New Haven for this. Well, they've won bet. Well, goodbye, Mr. Marston. Best of luck, dear friend.
So long, Professor.
So long, sir.
I'm checking real quick to see if I've got enough time for one more mission. The Edgar Ross missions are kind of long, so don't necessarily think I've got quite enough time for that. About 14 minutes. I don't remember any good spots to find cougars, and I would need to catch a train. So I'd like. Megaspell asks me if I've tried late night at the bar. For cougars. I do suppose you are right. That is accurate. And always worth a shot, so to speak.
Let's go.
Well, for those of you who are still in the stream, and for those of you in the stream, this will apply to next Saturday. For those of you watching on YouTube at home, this will apply to tomorrow. The next stream will be an AM stream. So I'll be shooting for about 8 a.m. Again, the usual 3 hours. Local PTA meetings is the best place to find cougars. Unfortunately, John is not an educated man. Ah, damn it. Was going the other way. John is not an educated man. He does not have a local PTA. I'm going to try extra hard this week, this upcoming week, to do an off-stream recording. This past week was very busy and not very good. So the time I planned to do it, things came up, unfortunately. But next week is a bit clearer. So I think I should be good. Because not only do I need to find time to record it, I also have to then edit it. And I think I may have had time to record, but I would not have had time to edit before now. So it just wasn't even worth doing at that point. Stupid train, you need to be moving! Okay. They said it's about to leave. There it goes. Alright, cool. So, how many birds do I have to kill? 5? 5. Sure would suck trying to do this at night when it's harder to see them, right? Heh. One. I think there'd be more owls. Glorp says the villain from Mulan is going to be pissed. So I'm shooting the bird. Shan Yu, I believe his name was, and I only know that from Kingdom Hearts 2. I've seen the movie, just not enough times to memorize the villain's name. But I've played Kingdom Hearts 2 enough times. 3, 4, boom. And that, folks, is how it's done. And this is how this is done. Just break those ankles. Alright, what's the next one on Sharpshooter? 2 different types of animals with 1 Deadeye meter. Generally, if I can find, like, just any ground animal, and then chances are good there might be a bird nearby. So, like, here's a skunk. Let's see if I can get a bird somewhere. So... done. Easy.
Tough one, ain't you?
Shoot the hats off 2 different people's heads. Okay, so this one, and then I think there's 1 or 2 more later for basically the same thing. It's kind of best to do it in Thieves Landing. And I'm going to put on the bandana for this. Because in Thieves Landing, there's no cops. So I don't have to worry about the lawmen. But I'm very, 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 very likely to kill them. And they're also very likely to try to shoot me back if I shoot their hat off. But if I accidentally kill them instead of shooting their hat off, I'll lose some honor, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so I need some fine folks with easily shoot-offable hats. That one looks pretty good, actually. Whoops. Didn't mean to kill him. Damn it. Well, I shot him out from under his hat. Damn it. Oh, stovepipe. Come on. Nope. Fuck.
I guess that's that then.
But, yeah, you see I'm not losing anything here. Oh, I thought that was good. Alright, one. Oh. Ooh, stagecoach guy. Nice hat. Done with that. Easy enough. Alright, let's see what we got next. Whoops. Okay, 3 bears each with 1 shot. The gun that I can buy after the Master Hunter makes that a lot easier. The buffalo rifle, because it's very strong. I don't exactly remember where to easily find cougars, like to get them to consistently spawn. I think there's like an area over here. I don't remember. But that's about 3 hours. So I think I'll just go ahead and call it here. Thank you for watching, everybody who watched live. Thank you to Cherry Doom, who is asleep right now, for joining in for a bit. And see you all on YouTube. People who are watching this stream right now, as I said before, Studio will be on SGDQ on Monday. I checked his times earlier, assuming they don't get delayed or pushed up. I think his first run is at like 3:30 Central, and his second run's at like 10:15 Central. So people who are watching on YouTube, watch those VODs, and this part's going up on Friday. There'll be one more day of SGDQ. So donate to that. Be a bro. And donate money to people for this stuff. And enjoy the speedruns, because I will be doing that all week. So, yeah. And I think that's about it. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. The next stream will be an 8 a.m. stream. So good night and goodbye and good night.